Hello, I'm Michael S. Jackson. I am the author of the Ringlander series, as you can see here. It's the paperback and the hardback. And I'm going to do a little reading of my up-and-coming novella. This is the arc of it. It's actually the only copy I have left because I gave all the rest away. But I'm going to read this one. It's called The Battle That Was Lost, and it's a prequel to the Ringlander stories. You can read it standalone, or if you want, you can read that, and then that, and then that, and that, whatever suits you. But I'm going to do a reading. The Battle That Was Lost. Dally, somewhere north of Drakemire. Staegrim shook his head at the heaps of dead horses barely 100 paces south. It's a strange thing. The boar were inhuman, a cross between a man and a bull standing, and twice as tall. There were 8 or 9 of them within the folds of fighting soldiers, standing like great stalks of wheat amongst the grass. Still, it wasn't the boar that had done this. This mess of dead animals was an altogether human endeavour, and worse, it was the side Staegrim found himself fighting for. A strange thing indeed. His partner Cor ran her hand through her greasy hair. Shut up, Stay. I mean, I would have, at the very least, eaten them before just sending them to the deaths like they don't mean anything, said Staegrim, trying to find the positives of losing an entire regiment of war animals. And of all the soul the rebels can win a handful of pine trees in the middle of the battlefield. Stay. And they're in the bloody way. How are we to get up the hill now? We have to climb over the damn things before we can get close to the boar command, let alone come close to assassinating anyone. Stay, can it? Staegrim chuckled. Cor rolled her eyes. It wasn't the gallows humour that made him laugh, as most thought. It was anxiety. He got all tight-chested sometimes, though he couldn't say why. It was just the way he was put together. The panic would build like a cup overflowing, and usually for no reason. It was there now, lurking, threatening to overtake his senses. He focused on the real things of this world. The trees. The soldiers dying further down the hill. The 4 of them here, skulking in the bushes like frightened rabbits. Anything outside of his own head. He glanced at the 2 men behind Cor, but they were silent as his mammy's grave. Perhaps the reality of their predicament was finally dawning on them. He nodded to the big one. Wouldn't you say, Cav? Imagine killing 20 good beasts just to gain a foothold in a fight. It's a bloody waste is what it is, wouldn't you say? The keeper of horses looked the product of a boar himself, all muscles and hair. He was so big he made the few needle pines around them look small. The man grimaced in Staegrim's direction, apparently holding back some sort of emotion. It's just, I can't even... Why kill them? Why kill them? He uttered. Stop your belly aching, Cav, said Cor. Look, there's still 1 or 2 alive and kicking down there. Bet you could still ride one if you could catch the arsing thing. Although, it's probably a bit muddy for that. I doubt even a good rider could gallop through that bog. The yellows of Cor's eyes flashed again. We're barely a league from Drakemire, and the most famous markets in the Ringland. You can pick up some more when all this fighting is said and done. They're just fucking animals, Cav. Kavik rounded on her. Just animals. They're mine. They keep me as I keep them. Do you have no faith about you at all, girl? Cor squared her shoulders. If she were a cat, her hips would be wiggling, readying a pounce. Kavik, forebearing her bless him, stood there as oblivious as an idiot bear. Faith is for the fallen, hissed Cor, adjusting her leather armour. Anyone else, in their right mind, would have quailed under Gavik's glare, even Staegrim, and he had seen things. Granted, he had never seen a horse charge used as bait before. Whoever had designed this little skirmish hated animals, that much was clear. Well, it was pretty fucking clear. Still, Staegrim wasn't one to question the high-ups. He was a bastard. That's why he was here. Duga's eyes narrowed. No one else saw it, but Staegrim did. Duga was one of those high-ups, and the orders came from him. If ever a shadow could be said to take on flesh, it was this man, this rebel officer. It's not for us to question Laib's orders, rasped Duga, his voice like a blade being pulled. Commander Sylvan orders his officers. His officers order tactician Laib. Laib turns those orders, those goals, into results. This is the 3rd engagement we've had with the boar, and the 3rd we will win. But atop everything else, Laib is a captain. To To disrespect him is to disrespect the Sjork. And the Sjork are... Core punched Staegrim in the back. The rebels, you fuckwit. The side we're on. Alright, it's just a strange fucking name is all. What's it mean? Duga drew a long breath. I didn't recruit you in the hope you would question all that I say. Just that you would do all that I say. We ain't no recruits. Stay. Well, we're not. We're bastards. Bastard gets paid. Recruits get stomped on. There's a big fucking difference. Kavik stepped forward and Staegrim flinched. You'll do as we tell you, or there will be a stomping. Staegrim held out his hands. This was getting ridiculous. Look, all I'm saying is that it's a strange thing to do, so it is. Sending all those horses into the grinder like that. Of course they were going to be killed. It's a waste. And like you said, Cav, now you're left standing here with the three of us, hidden amongst the bushes, watching as your pets. Pets? Staegrim silently chastised himself. He'd been on a roll, and it was something even his good mammy, Forbringer Restorsoul, told him not to do. He just wasn't clever enough. Cor frowned at him. She would have found the right words, he was sure. Kavik's glare hardened. They're my brethren, bastard. Don't call him that, snapped Cor. Bastard or no, he has a name. And what is a bastard, girl? A fool who cleans up after bigger fools. Aye, well, bastard or fool, you're both here to fight for the Sjork rebels. Don't remind me, muttered Cor under her breath. Kavik, suddenly affronted, flung out his arm to gesture at the open expanse of land beyond the needle pines. Then leave. I'm sure the commander wouldn't want anyone here who doesn't want to be here. So go, leave us be. Cor's gaze followed Kavik's outstretched hand. All I said was to mind your words, Horsemaster. Don't be talking down to us or we'll take our business elsewhere. And by the looks of things so far, you rebels look like you need all the help you can get. Right, said Staegrim, tapping Cor's shoulder. Now that we've finished wasting everyone's time, what's the fucking plan? The plan? Duga stood up in the thicket, barely visible with his dappled coat and breeches. The plan is we press on. The horses did their job and they did it well. The lords believed they'd just finished off our surprise cavalry ranks. He turned to Kavik. The cost for this grind was high, Kavik. But it will be worth it. Leib had no choice, given how quickly the engagement began. He nodded down the rise towards the black-armoured lines of the Lord's army moving assuredly forward into the rebels' half of the valley. No one in their right mind would have believed we'd willingly sacrifice so many, just so 4 men could make it unseen to a copse of trees in the middle of the battleground. Yet here we are, standing between the enemy leaders and their own army. Aye, said Cor, and what can 2 bastards and 2 cunts do against an entire army? Duga's stare hardened. Cor knew exactly why they were here, but she did so like to antagonize people. It's one of the things Staegrim loved about her, even if Duga didn't take the bait this time. Now, said Staegrim, let's keep things civil. If you're not up to the task... Oh, I wouldn't say that. Cor's cutthroat was suddenly in her hand, rolling over her fingers. Cor, put it away, ordered Staegrim. Now. Blessedly, the girl did as she was told. Duga, we're just looking for ourselves. Out for ourselves is all. The world is a savage place, and this is murderous work. We're used to dark deeds down dark alleys, but here we stand in the field of a battle, where life is at its cheapest. Duga's glare softened to hear. Then let us get on with it. So you may return to those dark deeds. He turned and beckoned Kavik away from them. About time. Cor stooped low and picked her way between the narrow trunks, mumbling more about wasting time. Staegrim stood, feeling dumb, waiting for something more, but all had been said. He turned to follow her and caught some of Duga and Kavik's conversation. Kavik, not a word of the bastard's delayed. I won't keep secrets from the man, Duga. You wouldn't keep secrets from us. Duga seemed to hesitate, and even as Staegrim skulked slowly forward after Cor, he knew Duga had replaced his cowl. Secrets keep only their keepers. I'm ordering you not to tell him about the bastards. Understand? Kavik didn't respond, but Staegrim got the impression the man had taken the order. The grey grass within the copse crunched underfoot as Staegrim took his place behind Cor. Staegrim the Feared was what Lewis and Drakemeyer called him. He could be silent, he could be deadly if he needed to, and the coin was right. Yet there was no more coin at work here. Something told him to keep his wits close by. Thank you. So this was a reading of The Battle That Was Lost. This isn't the actual cover, this is just the art. The actual cover is going to be released next Tuesday, which is the 13th of September, and you'll be able to pre-order it then as well. So Yeah. Thank you.